the No Fade channel. Checking in. Jonathan here with the long-awaited Rep Fitness Adjustable Dumbbell Stand. Was it worth the wait? How does it compare to Rep's cart? And which would I pick if I could only choose one? Let me know in the comments below which you would pick for your home gym. And at the very end of today's video, I'm gonna tell you how Rep Fitness completely dropped the biggest motherload of money bags ever. The Rep Fitness Adjustable Dumbbell Stand coming in 3 beautiful colors and 2 separate versions. One for the Rep Pepins that you see here, and another slightly different for the Rep QuickDraws. Now the price point currently stands at $299. And I say currently because earlier in the year, at the very beginning of the year, they had mentioned on their social media that they were going to bring it under $300. And a lot of people thought $275. I was one of them. But of course, we've got all this tariff talk, and they dropped this for $299. If I had to bet, and frankly, if I could bet, I would put all my chips in that by the end of this year, if not sooner, this price point is going to go up. Oftentimes, what Rep Fitness will do, allow people to kind of get a savings by being an early adopter when they first drop them, and then as they understand their cost perspectives, they drive that price point up. Options. You want options?
I want the truth!
The Adjustable Dumbbell Stand comes with 4 different height options, as low as 18.1 inches for you short kings, and as high as 21 inches. Currently, I have this set at 21 inches. I am 6'1", 190. And an absolute unit. And I found that at 21 inches, this thing was almost ideal. If I really wanted to hit that bullseye for my height and arm length, I would need this to be about a ½ an inch taller. But keep in mind, if you have this too high, if this was 22 or 23 inches, it would actually be too difficult for me to re-rack the weights. I would actually have to kind of get up on my tippy toes or bend my elbows to bring the weights up to clear the actual remaining weights on here. Ideally, 21 inches is probably going to be the sweet spot for most of the men out there. Continuing with the theme of options, when you assemble this dumbbell stand, you actually can set up these individual holders 2 separate ways. You can have them angled, which is what I do, in order to maximize space savings. Or you can have them parallel in order to give you the most amount of space between the dumbbells. Now, currently I have them angled because I hopefully will eventually kitty corner them against my back wall, and I really want to have these as tight up against the wall as I can without hitting it. So this is going to give me the most amount of space saving. I can get my whole body in here, no problem, and I can just kind of literally get between the dumbbells. I don't need a lot of extra room. Now, keep in mind, the space savings we're talking about is maybe an inch, inch and a half, but it does add up. Now, if you're on the bigger side, if you're just a mountain of a man, or maybe you're just wide, listen, no judgment here. I will tell you, you're probably gonna want them parallel because it's gonna give you more room on the inside. So you don't have to feel like you're kind of pressed up against the dumbbells when you're picking them up or putting them back. Now, this little toaster in the middle is actually for the fractional 2.5 pound plates that come with your Rep-ins. And I will tell you, they are super simple to use. Now, there's actually 8 slots, and of course, you're only gonna have 4. I do believe Rep Fitness in the future is going to have additional options in terms of the fractional plates that you can buy. You can either drop them over the top like so, or you can just kind of put them on the side. What's kind of cool about the side design is that it's perfectly angled so that when you put it in, it just kind of feeds itself.
Perfect.
Now, when Rep Fitness actually teased out a lot of their marketing behind this stand, they had 2 options, one with wheels and one without. Now, typical when it comes to a dumbbell stand, you literally put it in place and you never move it. Some people do like to have the ability to move their stand around, especially on super heavy sets. They can kind of push this right up to their bench and get after it without having to exert a whole bunch of energy getting those super heavy dumbbells over to them. Now, I honestly thought when they showed both versions that the wheels were gonna be the upcharge, but currently that $299 includes the wheels. And they are big, they are smooth, and when you lock them down, this thing doesn't go anywhere.
Forget about it.
Now, currently on their website, they do show that they will be selling in the future a leveling kit for this stand for a charge of $30. Now, personally, I don't think that's needed. If you've got the 125-pound rep Pepins, this thing's gonna be locked in even with those wheels. But for some people, if you've got an uneven floor or maybe you just like the aesthetic a bit more, you can get that leveling kit. My only question that I have, and one that I hope that they can answer in the description when they finally build out that portion of the website, is will the leveling kit get you some extra inches? Hey guys, sometimes we all wish we had a few more inches, and if that leveling kit could get you an extra inch, inch and a half on this stand, then I know a lot of you taller gents would gladly pay the $30 extra.
Pay that man his money.
Now, if you want to support the channel, rock those affiliate links in the description and buy yourself a whole bunch of brand new merchandise. But remember, it's not a one-way street. When you use those links, let me know so that I can send you a small token of my appreciation. Here is an overview of the Rep Fitness cart so that we can clearly compare it to the stand. Now, it comes in at a whopping $370, but keep in mind this thing is heavy and they do offer free shipping. However, that is an increased price from when they initially announced and released the cart.
No!
The cart's biggest claim to fame, the number one selling point, has to be storage, and I mean storage upon storage. Even when you have the dumbbells on here, you can still store additional stuff on the top. Plus, you've got this underneath storage, which is accessible from the front as well as the back. And the sides, which I'm sure you can't see from this angle, actually have pegboard across the entire side so that you can really dial in a lot of your small little accessory items and attach them to the cart. Plus, the whole thing is metal. So if you're a magnetic fan like me, just call me Magneto, you can stick a whole plethora of small little attachments to your cart without blinking an eye. At first glance, when you put these side by side, the cart seems a lot shorter than the stand. But when you actually bust out the ruler, it is as described on the website, 20.75, this coming in only a quarter of an inch taller at 21 inches. Now, I've used both of these now, and I want to give you my takeaways between the two, but first we got to talk about similarities. They both come in 3 options in terms of color, and the colors are good. You get them in, they pop, they've got a premium thick coating, they've got a glossy surface. You touch them, you feel like you're getting your money's worth. Both of these, yeah, they're both expensive, and I am as cheap as they come. I wish they didn't cost as much, but even at $370, you gotta remember, it's probably costing them $80 to $100 to ship this super heavy box to your front door alone. Now, this is $300, which again, I wish it was less. It is high, but when you compare it to Black Widow's design, which is, again, similar idea, similar concept, obviously made in America, but that's gonna cost you at least $600 once you pick a color and you pay for shipping. Damn! One thing I just haven't covered but is worth mentioning, both the cart and the stand have options on bolting the cradles directly to them. So if you're worried about the dumbbells shifting around on you when you're really kind of throwing that weight back in, you don't have to worry. Once you bolt them down, these things are gonna be locked in. There are 3 main differences between the cart and the stand. Number 1, I already mentioned, the price, but I'm not gonna harp on it again. Number 2 has to be the space. At first glance, when you look at these two online, you think that the stand takes up so much less room than the cart. But if you look at the actual numbers, it's not as big of a difference than you think. However, in a home gym, every inch matters. You've got to be really fighting for those inches in order to make your home gym just flow and not feel cramped, not feel cluttered. That's part of the reason you probably bought adjustable dumbbells in the first place. And if you're like me and you expect to take your stand and kitty corner that thing and angle the cradle holders on here, you are gonna find that you're gonna save a lot more space with the stand versus the cart. The third and final major difference between the two has to be how you pick up the dumbbells. I already did a review of the cart, and I actually thought this inlet here was a good design choice. You were able to get one leg in and give you a little bit of leverage when picking up those heavier dumbbells, so the strain wasn't entirely on your back. And I thought that they chose wisely because I don't think they could have made it any wider or any deeper and still had structural integrity. But the clear winner in terms of ease has to be the stand. I can get my whole body in here, literally have my hands at my sides and simply just bend the knee slightly, grab these dumbbells and stand up with them. And it just makes things very, very easy. Also, if you're on the larger side, maybe the Clydesdale division, you can put these cradle holders parallel, allowing you to have even more room between the dumbbells to get your entire body in here without batting an eye. Which one would I pick if I could only choose one? It has to be the stand. As I already mentioned, I'm hoping to kitty corner this up against the wall, and this is going to be ideal for space savings. And the reality is, and if you looked around my home gym, I've got plenty of storage options. I got more wall control than I can use. So the fact that the cart comes with so much storage and even comes with pegboard and has the ability to be moved around pretty easily is not something that I would usually take full advantage of. Now, many of you with small home gyms, you're going to be gravitated towards the stand, and I don't blame you. But don't poo-poo the cart. The cart has a ton to offer because there's a lot of people that love to have all of their knickknacks and stuff in terms of their home gym accessories in one location. Which of these is going to be right for your home gym? Comment down below. And now it's story time. Rep Fitness dropped the absolute biggest bag ever. Now, when they released these Rep Fitness Pepin Adjustable Dumbbell collaborations, there was so much hype behind them. The marketing, the demand, they just couldn't keep them in stock. And I will tell you that they were probably the biggest adjustable dumbbell release in 6 or 7 years. I mean, people were clamoring, and rightfully so. However, Rep Fitness didn't have a stand. Now, when people buy adjustable dumbbells, they want to know where they're going to put them. Now, a lot of you bros are like, just leave them on the floor. That's what training's all about. But man, oh man, picking up 125-pound dumbbells from the floor will bust your back and quick. Now, many people were looking for alternatives, and the reality is Rep Fitness, I don't know for certain, but I have to imagine, they plan to drop the cart and the stand with these adjustable dumbbells. Something must have happened in the manufacturing that delayed both of these cart and the stand. I can't imagine a world where they would actually go through the process in engineering a beautiful collaboration only to kind of think of the cart or the stand as an afterthought. Now, you snooze, you lose. People have been using alternative options, everything from Yes for All budget stands that are rated for like 100 pounds to plyo boxes. Even Black Widow went out and designed a beautiful adjustable dumbbell stand that's fully customizable. However, the price point is... If you don't like the $370 price point or the $300 price point for the stand, you better not blink twice because the prices are going nowhere but up. I've mentioned this in previous videos. It's a known fact. Tariffs or no tariffs, the prices are going up, and it's just a matter of time before Rep Fitness quietly kicks this $299 over that $300 mark. So if you are thinking about buying it, sooner is going to be better than later. 2 other things that you should be doing sooner rather than later: watching these videos and buying yourself a whole bunch of No Fade 24/7 merchandise. As usual, thanks for watching, and don't save anything for the trip back.